Faith in Action is brought to you by Mary's Choice, a Sioux City Pregnancy Resource Center. Previous Faith in Action shows can be found at SiouxlandCatholicRadio.com, on Spotify, and on a number of other podcasting platforms. Remember, a faithful reaction is good, but faith in action is so much better. Thank you for listening. And no, this is not Joanne Fox of Faith in Action. It's her Polish buddy, Don Stevens. Thank you, Joanne, for allowing us to do this on your behalf. And to you and Dean in Arizona, a well-deserved time off. Thank you. With us today is Jake McGowan. Jake McGowan, Sioux City boy. He is a Bishop Heelan graduate, Blessed Sacrament School. Grandpa Jerry, Grandma Cheryl, Chris, and Kathleen, the McGowan family, welcome to the studio today, Jake.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And you're going to talk to us today a little bit about the Naval Academy.
Yep.
I think you're able to be home today earlier than most of the candidates, the cadets, I guess, so that you can spend time talking to the media a little bit about the story about the Naval Academy, how Naval Academy, we could get into the Naval Academy, but we're going to get into a little bit about, what you do out there as well, and how your faith plays a role in it, being we are in Catholic radio.
Absolutely.
Just a little conversation as if you and I were at a bar.
Awesome.
Okay? So Tell us about why you're here today.
So I was fortunate enough to be picked to go home a little early. We call it Op Info. And we go around to the schools in our congressional district, and we can also do media appearances like this and talk about the Naval Academy and try and get more applicants out in Annapolis and get some more people interested, check out our programs, especially our Summer STEM and our Summer Seminar, which are two of our big high school programs that people do to get introduced to the Academy.
So do you come to the school when you're talking about summer programs? How does that work? So Summer STEM and Summer Seminar are both during the early part of the summer, where you go out to Annapolis. And for Summer STEM, I believe it's a commuter, so you're staying off campus. But Summer Seminar, you're staying in Bancroft Hall, which is the dormitory that the midshipmen live in during the academic year. And we're scattered throughout the country and actually the world on summer training, so they open up the building to applicants, and they get a week of what the academy looks like on a daily basis. So they'll go to a chemistry class and a calculus class. They'll do morning workouts. They'll eat in King Hall, which is our dining hall, and just kind of go through the regular midshipman schedule. So I'm at Bishop Heelan High School.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, I'd like a military career. Obviously, I think everybody listening would know you have to be more at the top of your class. You have to have somebody. So when you're talking about applicants, have they already filled out an application to be considered, or can they just fill out an application to go to this school to think about what they want to do?
Yeah, so for our summer programs, if you go to usna.edu/admissions, you can find our programs page that will talk more in depth about it. But you apply for Summer Seminar going into so pretty much around Christmas time of your junior year of high school, you apply, and then you'll go your junior summer going into senior year, and then senior year you'll start your actual application, which pretty much starts right when you would get back from Summer Seminar. So if you're a senior,
I'm there, not to interrupt, but if I'm at Heelan and I'm saying, my dad was military, my friends, I know the McGowans, I think I might like to know. So I fill out this application that I'm going to go to, hopefully I could go to this.
Yep.
Now, and then is there a lot of them that apply?
So I'm not really an expert in the admissions in terms of how many people apply. All my family applied, and
right.
I was unfortunately, I had a COVID year, so ours was virtual, which was kind of a bummer. But my older sister Sam and younger sister Maria both had the opportunity to actually attend in person. But I think it's a relatively competitive opportunity.
Okay, so it is competitive.
Yeah,
it's not
absolutely.
That everybody goes. Everybody can go.
They're not going to select everybody, but they will pick. Yep.
And they go to the academy, or they'll go somewhere else and attend?
Yeah, so they'll go to the academy for it. Yep.
And that's in
Annapolis, Maryland.
Annapolis, Maryland. And they'll see, but that does not commit them to be a service person. If they're there, they don't like it, they may say, not for me.
And one of the benefits of the academy is you don't have any commitment until your junior year. So you can go for 2 years. It's a completely free institution, so you're not paying anything. You're actually getting paid to go to school. But when you come back for your junior year, when you go to your first class, the first day of class your junior year, that is when your commitment starts. So up until then, there's no commitment.
Is it a political appointment? Does your senator or congressman have to appoint you?
Yeah, so you need an appointment from your congressional representative, your 2 senators, or there's vice president nominations as well. And you can apply for all 4 options. So,
So your family is pretty active in the military. Your dad, grandpa was at Vietnam.
Yep.
So how is this naval experience, which I see the U.S. Marine Corps on there, so you're probably looking at moving into the Marine Corps.
Yeah, so last Thursday we had what's called service assignment for the seniors, or firsties. We call them firsties at the academy. And in August we put in our preferences of what we want to do with our careers, and based off the needs of the Navy and the Marine Corps and our preferences, they have boards and panels to decide who goes where. And a little under 80% got their first choice, 93% got their first or second choice, and on Thursday I found out I'm going to be a Marine pilot when I graduate.
Was that one of your choices?
It was my first choice, so excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Well, and congratulations, and thank you for accepting the call to the military.
Well, thank you for your service. You know, I'm about to join the fight, I guess, in a sense. I haven't done anything quite yet, but excited to be a part of the Marine Corps.
What else do you want to tell us about your purpose here, and then we'll wander in our conversation?
Yeah, so the academy it's unfortunately not that well known, especially in the Midwest. My dad used to always tell me that he had no idea what the academy was. He had been out in D.C. for something in high school, and they asked him if he wanted to apply to the academy, and he said, well, I don't want to go to the academy. I want to go to college. He didn't understand that, the academy was a college institution, just because it's not marketed well here. So it is a college institution. You get a 4-year degree. You're going to graduate with a bachelor's of science in something. Completely free. There's 23 academic majors. We have an 89% graduation rate. Obviously 100% employment when we graduate, because we're going into the military. And it's also a great place for sports. There's a lot of good athletes in this area, especially in our Catholic schools. Congrats to the Crusaders on a great football season. Pretty phenomenal program that Coach LaFleur has been putting together over the past couple of years. It's been great to watch as an alum. But we have 36 varsity sports at the academy. I think we're only behind Ohio State in terms of varsity sports. So we have the second most in the country. Lots of opportunities to play sports, have a great career. I mean, it sets you up for life. So
volleyball?
Yep.
So Julia have a smile on her face that maybe I could follow the rest of brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I think Julia's probably going to end up playing sports in college. She's a pretty good athlete. But I could see her playing volleyball at the academy. I'd love to see it.
Now, after you leave the academy, and I'll get back, so remind me as I wander. Sometimes I go off point. So as you're in the academy, after you get to the point where you are and you have your commitment, and you say, I want to be a Marine pilot, do you have a 6-year military commitment after that?
The commitment right now is... So when we sign what we call our 2 for 7, that's the contract we sign before we go to class our junior year. We're committing 5 years of service at a minimum, but it depends on what career you go into. So a surface warfare officer or a submariner, their career is more than likely 5. But for pilots, they've made those contracts a little longer. So I will go to the basic school in Quantico, Virginia for 6 months after I graduate, and then I'll go down to flight school. And then once I get my wings at flight school, that's when my contract actually starts.
Flight school's in Florida?
Yeah, Pensacola.
Pensacola, Florida. I thought it was down in that area.
Yep.
So then you would have, after you go to flight school, and when you get your wings, is that when your commitment for service starts?
Yes.
So many years.
So that's when the clock starts. Okay. Obviously, our clock towards retirement and benefits starts the day we graduate, but our commitment for our contracts start when we get our wings in Pensacola.
So as an old guy, I think about benefits and I think about retirement. Now, are your years, once you commit, are your years of schooling, because you're in the Naval Academy, do they count towards military service?
They do not count towards retirement or anything like that.
Okay.
But, I mean, obviously, the benefits of those 4 years is graduating from the #1 public institution in the country with no college debt and a couple bucks in your pocket because we get paid monthly.
Oh, you do?
At the academy, yeah.
At the academy,
yes.
you get a stipend.
Yep.
While you're there.
It goes up as you progress through, but we get a monthly stipend, and room, board, and all that is covered as well. So.
All right, so it sounded kind of exciting to be going to one of the academies. I had a daughter who was very bright at Heelan, and I had a friend who said I think we can get her into the Air Force Academy. And she found out how the exercise program, you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you do it. And she said, I don't think the academy is for me. So tell us a little bit about your day. And I understand your freshman year, your first year, is the toughest. I mean,
yeah, the freshman year is definitely the hardest. We call it plebe year. And you're considered, you're still in your training phase. It's still the indoctrinal part of your time at the academy. But the workout regimen stays pretty much the same. Everyone has to be involved in some physical activity. We have high fitness standards. We have our PRT, physical readiness test, which is push-ups, as many as you can do in 2 minutes without stopping, a plank, and then a 1.5-mile run with minimum times, or maximum times that you have to be under to be considered passing in those.
Okay.
So
now, I know the military reforms you.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
you go in with your mindset, but the military gives you their mindset. So you're going through all of the physical exercise, and now you mentioned earlier you're at class too. So you have all the classroom participation.
The classroom, it's definitely tough. I would say that Heelan did a great job preparing me for it, and I'm sure that other schools do just as good of a job as well. But I really felt prepared when I showed up to the classroom based off of my teachers at Heelan. And I'm sure that me and my buddies will talk about our experiences at Heelan, and we have our great moments and our not so great moments. But Heelan really did prepare me for the academics at the academy. We take calculus up to calculus 3, physics 1, physics 2, chem 1, chem 2, thermodynamics, electrical engineering. And I think without the foundation I had at Heelan, I would have had a lot harder of a time with it.
So now you're in your senior year.
Yeah.
So you've gone through. Now I'm speaking from a guy in basic and officer school, and I all the things that I went through. So you have what I would not refer to as harassment, but I would say intense pressure to build up. How does that fit into your life with the intense pressure from the head, plus now your classrooms, plus the other stuff that you have to do?
Yeah, the academy it's in a sense designed for you to face adversity, fail in some things. Obviously you're not designed to fail all your classes, but they're designed to be hard and make you struggle, and with all the other military things you have going on and the academics, it's designed to make you prioritize your time better and be prepared when you're an officer to lead sailors and Marines with great time management, good people skills, etc. So, I've had a great experience there. I've learned a lot. I've failed a lot. I've, struggled in some classes and, come up on the other end. We passed all of them. I haven't had any huge setbacks in terms of academics, but I think those have, made me a lot stronger. You learn a lot from failure. So lots of benefits to it.
Tell me about the relationships I think that you make and how this is going, in your life.
So I've made a ton of incredible friends at the academy, and the Catholic community there is gigantic. Roughly,
that's what I want to get to.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so 25% percent of our class, or of the academy, on their paperwork at least, is Catholic. And we have a giant Catholic midshipman club. We have a ton of people go to Seek, which is the focus conference for college and up. And really the only school that beats us in terms of numbers is Texas A&M. Texas A&M has a great focus program, but we are significantly smaller than A&M, and we're bringing, I think there were 75 midshipmen we brought last year, and we have a great Catholic midshipman club that we have triple-digit numbers at every week that I'm fortunate enough to be the vice president of. I've made a lot of great friends in that organization. My roommate is just recently started OCIA, so it's really exciting. But what incredible people there, and especially within the Catholic community.
Do they support or encourage not only the Catholic faith, the Lutheran faith, Methodist? As a military person, you're facing a lot of decisions in your life that obviously are faith-based.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they encourage you to go to church?
Yeah, we have pretty much every church service you could think of. We have chaplains from across the board. We have a beautiful chapel at the academy. It's unbelievable. They do a great job. But there's a ton of different clubs for all faith backgrounds. And obviously we have a lot of different clubs within the Catholic community. You have Knights of Columbus, Catholic Daughters of America, and then the larger Catholic Midshipman Club to be a part of at school. It's great.
Great. So, Jake, now you're getting to the point. And when do you graduate?
I graduate on May 22nd of 2026.
May 22nd?
Yep.
So we have to remember that as far as hey, congratulations, call out to Jake graduating from the Naval Academy today.
Thank you.
And then you'll be heading down to your Quantico.
Correct. Yep.
To your, for use of a better term, I don't know if you'd call it basic training, because you already had some basic training there.
Right. You know, it's kind of cool. I was looking at a calendar yesterday, and I will graduate 11 years to the day from when I saw my cousin Matt, who's also a Heelan grad, graduate from the Naval Academy. And he played a really big role in my decision to go to the academy. I just always looked up to him, and what a great role model he is. He's currently a major in the Marine Corps, works in artillery, and the example that he set for me played a huge factor in my decision. So it'll be cool to know that 11 years to the day is when I saw him do the same thing.
Why did you pick military? I mean, you could have been a doctor, lawyer, butcher, baker, candlestick maker. And you take a look at the military, you're not just serving your country, or you're not just, I'm going to be in the service. I mean, this is a commitment, because you don't know what the future in the military will take you in the present political world of strife. So Why did you, and I realize the McGowan family is deep into the military, but what made that choice for you?
Yeah, so obviously, like you said, my family they've set a pretty good example for me growing up. Grandpa served in Vietnam, my dad was in the Air Force, my two older siblings are in the military, two of my three younger siblings are now in the military. We'll see what Julia decides to do. There's absolutely no pressure from my family in terms of going to the academy, and but I mean, it just made so much sense. I had seen so many people go through and have so much success afterwards, and obviously it's a commitment from me to the country, but there's so many benefits that I get from it. It's not. It's partially a selfish decision in a sense, because it sets me up so well. I have until like 9:45. So
okay. So as long Jake has commitments as he's going, so we're checking the clock.
Yeah.
We're trying to make sure he's not late into others, because he is serving the country before he serves the country, and telling everybody about what his role is and what he's doing.
I'll actually be down the street at Heelan next. So if you're at Heelan, if you're a student, get to class, but I'll be there in a minute to talk to you.
What a great place to recruit. And thank you.
Absolutely.
As a military guy who was in Vietnam and have gone and had choices in there, I see a lot of things that I see in you that I had as far as growing up and as far as serving. I think the military creates a different environment, and I know Tim Swedeen's daughter, also was in the military, for people. It makes you grow in a different direction, but stronger.
Absolutely. Just what an opportunity it is to lead sailors and Marines in the future. They truly are America's best. The enlisted just really don't get a lot of credit for a lot of the things we do, but what an incredible option that is. Out of high school as well, joining the military on the enlisted side. I got a lot of buddies who joined the 185th out of high school, and they're all doing great things. They obviously do a great job. But yeah, it's just what an opportunity it is to serve. So I think my family's understood that pretty well and taken full advantage of it for sure.
So what did the Naval Academy give you, not only with your faith, I'd like you to address that, but as part of life, coming out of the Naval Academy, how has that changed your life?
Yeah, in terms of the non-faith-based things, just when I graduate, I'm going to graduate with no college debt, a couple bucks in my pocket because they're paying me to go to school, which is just a huge advantage right out of the gate. A lot of people are paying off college debt for a long time after they're out, and that's just not a thing that I have to worry about. And also just the relationships that I've built there are going to last a really long time. We have a really good alumni association who they're always looking out for us. And, when I'm fortunate enough to be an alum of the institution, hopefully I can give back the same. So that's obviously great. But in terms of faith, I'd say that the academy, obviously I had a great background at Heelan and growing up in the household I did, but I didn't expect the academy to be so strong in terms of the Catholic faith when I showed up, and I've just been blown away by it. It's incredible. They've offered us some incredible opportunities. Last year, I got to go to Rome for spring break with the Catholic Midshipman Club, and they actually, the Catholic Church actually covered almost the entire thing. We paid next to nothing to go over there. And what an incredible opportunity that was to just see Rome, Vatican City, all the basilicas. And then this summer, I was fortunate enough to go on a trip to Poland, and during my free time, I got to escape to go to the Divine Mercy Shrine and the Shrine of John Paul II. And then on the last day of the trip, I managed to escape to see the hometown the town that Maximilian Kolbe had founded, where he grew up and lived, obviously, before he was killed in the Holocaust. And just, I don't have those opportunities anywhere else. I've got to see the world. I've got to see some pretty incredible Catholic landmarks, outside of the United States that I didn't anticipate I'd have an opportunity to do something like that when I showed up. So very, very grateful for the faith-based things we have at the academy.
You're going to Heelan in a little while.
Yeah.
Before you go, what would you like to tell the young men and women? Because women are well invited out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's about 30% of our student body are women. Some great officers, obviously. My sister, great role model to me, Navy helicopter pilot. She went through the academy system. But yeah, for the high schoolers that, will hear this, the academy's not that well known, in my opinion, in the Midwest. And we have a lot of great people who would make great applicants, and it's just a matter of getting them across the finish line of the application. And it's a long process. You need a congressional nomination. The academy process weeds out a lot of people. A lot of people open applications and never finish them because they ask a lot of you. But I mean, looking back 4 years later now, it was worth it. It was 100% worth it to go through all the paperwork and the interviews, etc. I could not be more fortunate. And if you're interested in the academy, you can go to usna.edu/admissions and look into our summer STEM and our summer seminar programs to get a better grasp of the academy and what that lifestyle's like.
Well, Jake, thank you for coming to Catholic Radio.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's been an honor to host you in the studio. we veterans, thank you.
Thank you
for accepting the call, because you're our future leaders. You're protecting our country as an officer and a gentleman and a Catholic.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll pray for you.
Thank you.
Because you're going to be making some tough decisions out there.
Absolutely.
God forbid you never have to face wartime conditions.
Right.
That's the first thing we pray for, that is a peaceful time in the military.
Absolutely.
But as guidance to other men and women as an officer, good luck to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Our
Thank
thoughts
you
are
for
with
having
you,
me.
and thank you for accepting the service.
Thank you.
Again, this is Faith in Action. It's brought to you by Mary's Choice, a Sioux City Pregnancy Resource Center. Previous Faith in Action shows can be found at SiouxlandCatholicRadio.com, on Spotify, and on a number of other podcasting platforms. Again, remember, a faithful reaction is good, but faith in actions is so much better. Thank you for listening.